So today we're doing a wedding ring project. We're starting off with a 2-inch diameter piece of wood. It's a resin cast piece of wood. It's about 1 3/4 inch thick. We'll cut the blank. We'll go through some of the quick steps on sizing. This won't be as extensive as the bangle videos that we've made. This will just be a quick how-to to get people started if you're going to be trying one of these projects. So we'll be starting by using an 1.5 inch diameter hole saw to get the blank size down to a smaller, more manageable size, and then we'll move on to cutting it to width and then get So we've got our piece of resin cast manzanita out. Used that 1.5 inch hole saw. We'll be using the Jet variable speed midi lathe, a Supernova G3 chuck. I'm not sure which size jaws these are, but so we'll just take this little plug, chuck it up inside of the lathe here. We'll just kind of true it up, square it up, and then we'll part it off to size. So here we go. Using a carbide cutter again. A 5/8 speed bore drill bit just to core out the center, get it a little bit more opened up. That'll be our starting size for the ring. So now I wear a size 11 ring, so this is a stainless one we'll make today. I'm just going to measure real quick. I know what size this is, but this is what you do. So the wood width here, pressing it tight, measuring with the calipers, so 243. So I'll mark about a 1/4 inch off from the face here, and then add some and make sure I don't go any further. So we'll get this marked. So I got a calipers. Gonna put about 300 thou. Take our pin. Just gonna mark a line all the way around here so I can see that when it's turning. Again, this is a real quick video. Just gonna show some of the basics. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that parted off. So that last little tool is a custom ground small parting tool. So I made a little block to help me have it sticking out just right. So this block is about 1.25 inch diameter and almost, let's see, 960 long. So this will go in here, just tuck back, and what that does is it leaves about 3/16 of an inch of the teeth exposed here, so we can put this guy in here, a little blank in there, press firm, and there we go. So now we've got a good amount of stick out, so we can work with that. So now we'll start, we'll just square this up. So I got the blank flipped around. I measured the width where it's about 314. Again, we need to get it to about 250. So I got to take about a 16th off. Pull it out and measure the width again, and we'll just slowly inch up on it. Okay, so I measured it again. It was about 270. Measured the ring. It's 240, so we need to take about 30 thousandths off. I've got my bifocal safety glasses on, so I can really see what's going on here. Try to just take a little bit off. Don't over tighten it when we're clamping on it. So we're at 260. Good sharp edge on your carbide tool is good. This one's not brand new, so it's not ideal. Okay, 246, so now we're close. So now I'll probably sand it on my belt sander. You can keep turning, but I'll just hit this on the sander. Now we'll go ahead and bore the ID and get that sized right. Okay, so this is we really need to take it slow. I wear a size 11 ring, and I'm measuring the diameter where the wood will go. So on this core, it's around 848. So we're just going to inch up on that. We want to go for probably about 852 to 854, 4 to 6 thousandths bigger on the ID of the ring blank. So these are machinist tolerances using woodworking tools. Just really go slow. This is where, if you're going to lose it, this is where you'll lose it. Again, this is a size 11. You can see, so we're getting pretty close here. If you're starting with a size 7, just choose your hole size carefully. You want to bore quite a bit undersized in case you get any chip out along this ridge here, and just slowly work your way up. So I use that speed bore tool. You might use a Forstner bit. If you're making a 7 or an 8, you might use a Forstner bit so you don't get any chip out along this edge. see we're about 8:15. So right there, about 8. So the hole is not perfectly straight as I come out. 860, so that's a little bit over. As I go in, 843, that's a little under. Again, I'm kind of going a little fast here just to film it. So try to true this up. See how this looks. Okay, so we're just snug on this side. Too snug, really. Okay, and that side is probably a little loose, but I'm not seeing anything exposed there, so that should be okay. I'm just going to go ahead and use my sander now and clean this up and get it just right. Okay, so here's our blank. We'll measure this. This is 860 on this side and 849 on the 846 on this side. Again, if we measure the ring blank, size 11. About 846, and then if we measure the very outside diameter, we're at 902. So definitely want to stay quite a ways below that. We'll use this Fordham bit here to clean up this Fordham sanding drum to clean up the inside. And we'll just test fit it as we go, and we'll just so let's see how we did. So 855, a little bit bigger than we wanted, but not too bad. So let's see how this fits now. So that goes right in. Okay, I haven't sized it completely to width, but that's looking pretty good. Maybe the width, I don't know if you can see, but there's just a little bit of a line in the center there, but that's not looking too bad. Just like on the other video, so I'm squeezing on the metal part and I can't rotate the wood, so we do need to shrink it a little bit. We need to take a little bit off the width, so we'll do that on the belt sander. So this wood blank has been, we got it sized, it's been dried for a number of hours in the oven before we even started, so it was almost warm to the touch when I started drilling the hole. It's plenty dry, it's been stabilized in, it's been cast and then stabilized in cactus juice one time. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a light coat of thin CA on the wood before I glue it up, just as a last protection. If there's anything that hasn't quite soaked up enough resin, just covering the wood parts. So we'll just get that soaked up and let that soak in, and then I'll wipe off the excess with a little paper towel, and then we'll check it for fit one more time.
Obviously you don't want to get this stuff on your skin, and you want to have good ventilation. I've got the fan blowing in the background there. So then I'll just give it a little shot of accelerator. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the oven for probably another 20 minutes to make sure it's completely dry. And then I'll fit check it one more time. Okay, while the blank's drying, we'll just use Zylol, and we'll just wipe the outside of the ring core. Get it prepared where we're going to glue. We're going to use CA glue today, just like a pin turning, and we'll try that since most of it's, at least 50% of it's resin. It should be okay. So now the ring core, well, let's see, we'll take it apart and then we'll get this lip. There we go. Hopefully the mating surface that will be glued together. Alright. So it's been about 15 minutes. We'll go check that blank. Okay, this looks pretty good. Now we'll just wipe the inside here. Alright, now let's see how well this is fitting together. Maybe we have to take some more off. Oh, this looks pretty good. So we'll glue this up and then let it cure. So I just chucked up a cheap plastic ring measuring stick. You can get them like at Amazon.com for $10 or something. Again, it's plastic. But then I put a piece of packing tape around the area that I'm going to be using. So I'll use a medium CA, and I'm going to put some on the ID of the blank. Okay. Put some on that portion. You all know this stuff sets up pretty fast, so important to wear gloves. So there we go. So I'm just going to let that, it's just a loose press fit, and so I'm not going to clamp it. I'm just going to let that sit like that and cure up. I give it a little help. Okay. So I'll probably let this sit for half hour or so before we do the final turning, just to make sure that it's cured up. Got some CA I'll have to remove here, but that's okay. So it's been sitting for about 10 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and remove some of this CA that made it to the inside. Beauty about these cores is they're solid metal. This is really not gonna, I'm not gouging it, but just kind of scraping along the surface with a box cutter. I've got a little small deburring tool that I'll use to get the ID brushed, just like on bangles. We'll brush the ID and that'll clean it right up. So a little bit more time, and this will be ready to start turning. Before we start turning the ring, we'll go through this little mandrel. This is an expanding mandrel that I sell along with the ring kits. I tried jam chucks and those little rubber expanding mandrels for sanding discs, and really had troubles just either with it coming off and not staying on there while turning, or just concentricity of the ring wood to the metal. And so I came up with a design. We designed this, we also machine these. So it's just a basic expanding mandrel where so this is the size 11. So this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, these steps. So we'll go on a size 11. This is just a pretty straightforward chuck here, like I got from either PSI or Woodcraft. And so just snug this, it's a 1/2 inch arbor. You could use probably just use your chuck, keyless chuck. That might work also, but I use this. And so just tighten this up, not too tight, just so it won't spin. So there you go. That's that. And let's see how this turns. So it looks pretty true. That's exactly what you want. So we'll go ahead and tighten this chuck up, and we're ready to turn. Okay, using the carbide cutter, we'll just slowly ease our way in and see how it goes. Cut right into the metal. Even if this were titanium, that's okay. Carbide will be fine. As soon as you see the metal shine up, you know you're there. So I kind of like that profile pretty well. So now I'll do a little sanding. Some 600 grit sandpaper. This is an Alumilite casting, Alumilite Manzanita. So this is my first ring that I ever made with a resin cast blank. So I'm pretty excited to see how this turns out. So we're just going to use some Triple E polishing compound to buff this up. I won't admit that to being an expert on finishing acrylics or this Alumilite casting. We'll just leave this for the video for today. You can already see there's a little line on this one. You may not be able to see it. There's a little line right through here, and it looks like just like in pin turning, probably the mistake is not painting the the tubes or painting the underline, you know, painting the back side of the blank. Probably should have done that, but since this was just my first prototype, that's okay. So we got this done. It's Manzanita with blue cast resin, size 11 on stainless. So there's the wood. Here's the blue resin part. Again, there's a little bit of an evidence of a line in there from, you can see where the dividing half between the cores is. But pretty cool. Make your own rings, guys. I don't know. So I made this one in less than 2 hours total time start to finish. That includes some drying time in the oven and curing of the CA. I didn't put a CA finish. I just wanted to get this done for today, and so those are pretty much the basic steps. And I'll try to do some better video series in the future. Happy turning.